Hey, so today I'm going to talk about our tools for donating and analyzing WhatsApp data. So we have two tools. So one is called WhatsApp Explorer. It's a way for individuals or organizations to donate their WhatsApp data in a privacy-preserving manner that enables the user to have control and provide consent for required data. So let me just walk you through what these tools are. So first, I'll walk you through the data donation tool, which takes a few minutes, and then I'll walk you through what happens with that data that is donated. So let's get started. So the way we set this up is every individual who wants to donate their data will get a user account. So we have created a bunch of accounts. So let's say I use an account I created previously. So this is an empty account where a user can come in, and each individual user, like yourself, could be created, could have an account. And now, what you do is just say, add user, and you write your name here. So my name is Kiran. I just added some stuff just because I want my ID to be unique. These are optional, and you don't need to fill them. You just say, okay, terms of service agreed, and then you say generate QR code. Basically, the process that goes behind this data donation is we are launching front end. We are launching a client of web WhatsApp on your behalf and collecting data through that. This is how the tool works. So basically what we are requesting the users do is that they authenticate their web WhatsApp account and on our server. So basically, when you authenticate, we're able to collect the list of groups that are large in size that you are a part of. So let's go ahead and generate the QR code. Basically, what I do on my WhatsApp is I go to settings, link devices, and then go to link a device. So on WhatsApp, you have link a device. So this is just exactly the way any user adds a web WhatsApp account. So I have my camera ready here. So I say generate QR code, and this is going to generate a QR code for me. So I scan the QR code. Now the QR code is scanned. So this is logging me in. It takes maybe 5 seconds. Okay, so here I'm authenticated on my phone. Okay, here it's going to be authenticated too. Okay, so now what is happening in the background is we are logging a list of chats. So we're not getting the data, any data now, actual data of the chats. We're only collecting the list of chats that you are a part of, and only the group chats that you are a part of. So we're not going to collect what personal chats you've made. We're only going to collect the list of group chats that your account is involved with. Okay, that's done. Now let's say connect user. So this is going to authenticate the user's account. So here I add my account, but if you add your account, it's going to authenticate your account to WhatsApp and confirm that this is me, the user who's authenticating this account. Okay, so that will again take like 5 to 10 seconds. Once this is done, we get a chance for the user to choose the threads or the groups that they would like to share. So here, once you click that, you're given a list of all the groups that you are a part of. And by default, some of the groups are ticked. These groups are the large groups which have over 5 members in them. So to protect the privacy of individuals, we are not even allowing users to donate groups which have, let's say, 3 members in them or 4 members in them, right? Like, so users cannot even select this, like these are, and you cannot even select them. You can unselect groups that you don't want. The groups that are selected by default are groups which have a certain number of messages already in them. For instance, these groups did not have, these groups did not have messages in the last, at least 15 messages in the last 2 weeks. So we are not even, we didn't select them, but the user can select them and say, oh yeah, this seems to be a group where there's typically a lot of content being posted that is of interest. So we could select that. You could unselect some of these, like, maybe that is a private group that you don't want to select. And then you just click on log messages. So, and that's it. So that's the process. So that took like maybe 3 minutes of your time. And that's the process for a user to donate the list of groups, the groups that they are interested in. And there is a lot of control for the user because this username is associated with your own account. You can always come back here and you can say delete account, right? Like, so you can delete your account, which will stop the data collection. Or from your side, you don't even have to log into our system. On WhatsApp, you go to the same place in linked devices and say log out. And if you log out from your WhatsApp, so here, this device has been removed from my WhatsApp account. So now if I try to connect to this user again, I will get an error because I have logged out. So anytime you don't want to provide data anymore, you can just click on log out and your user access will be revoked automatically. So we cannot authenticate on your behalf, or we cannot collect any data. So as you see, yeah, it says user credentials revoked, right? The other thing that you can do is, you can just log in and press delete. Now we don't have permission to collect your data anymore. So that user is deleted. But we still collect historic data, right? Like once you selected the groups you want to donate, we still have historic data. I mean, even if you remove access, we might store that historic data. So you can email me. My email will be available publicly. It's kiran.garimella@rutgers.edu, and say, okay, I don't want to have my data stored. So then we can go back on our servers and delete all of your data as well. So that procedure is also formally, like we have a procedure for doing that. Okay, so this is only part of the tool that we have, or the toolkit that we have. So the first part is the data donation part, where users can come and donate. And there are two use cases to that. One is you could be an individual user who has a bunch of groups, like maybe 4 or 5 groups that you want to donate, or you're an organization or an NGO or a journalist or a fact checker who has a lot of groups that you're monitoring on your phone qualitatively, and you want to dump all of those and have a way for us to automatically get the content from those groups and then do some aggregation. So let me talk about what we do with that data. So once we get once a user donates a bunch of data, what happens then is there is a bunch of pipelines that are run, pipelines as in a bunch of code that is run that collects this data. What we do eventually is we create this sort of a dashboard. So this is one dashboard that is for a region in India. So all of this data comes from India, from a lot of users in India. So as you can see, we have roughly close to 500,000 items coming from India. And basically what this data is, what this dashboard contains is multiple tabs. So the first tab here, all of this content that I'm showing you here is content that has been forwarded many times on WhatsApp. So you see, have that forwarded and forwarded many times on WhatsApp. So this is content that many people on WhatsApp have seen. So this is content that is forwarded many times on WhatsApp, right? So, and you can see there are videos, there are the text messages, there are images, and so on. So one important thing is we anonymize everything before the content is stored, right? Like, so for instance, here, this message has been anonymized. So there's a name here. So that's why this random string has been added. So names, emails, phone numbers are anonymized even before we store the data. So all names, all phone numbers, all emails are erased. So no personal information ever even touches our server. It is anonymized before the content is stored. Similarly, images with faces, the faces are blurred, so we cannot really identify individual faces. So for videos, we don't have any anonymization as of yet, but we're working on technology to actually anonymize videos too, right? Like, so this tab here is content that has been forwarded many times on WhatsApp. So this is viral content forwarded many times, even though this content might just be shared once in our data set. It has been shared many times overall on WhatsApp. right? These other tabs, images, videos, messages, and URLs, these are content that are shared widely within our data set. So for instance, this image was shared 47 unique groups, a total of 67 times. And we have information on when it was shared, in what groups, and by whom. By whom, as in, like, again, we don't have the identifiers of those users. We just know this is user one who has shared this content in these and these and these groups. So this is like, these are, as you can see, most of the faces here have been anonymized. Like, all the faces here have been anonymized. So this is done automatically. Then similarly, we have videos here, which have been shared. Like, for instance, this video was shared a total of 43 times in 30 different groups. And then we have messages here. Messages are, again, clustered together. So similar messages are grouped together. And there's a lot of anonymization that goes here. So there's a name here. So that's why that name has been removed and replaced with this sort of random string. And a lot of anonymization happens in the text. As you can see, a bunch of stuff is anonymized here and so on. Similarly, we can also see the popular URLs that were shared in many groups. So for instance, this URL was shared in 83 groups, a total of 300 times in our data set. So yeah, this is our tool. So there's a data donation tool and a data dashboard tool. Both of these are under a login. So we could provide you access with either or both. Like, in some cases, what happens is you might not want access to the, a user might not want access to the dashboard, but might want access to the donation, right? Like, or the other way. So either is possible. And there's a bunch of private stuff, like privacy stuff that happens. So in cases you are not comfortable with storing like all data from the group, we can only capture and share and store viral content from your data. Like, for instance, this dashboard is a customized dashboard built for one of our partners. What this data shows is content that is only frequently forwarded. So there's no other tabs here. There's no other content that is being recorded or stored in our databases. So for instance, all of this content that I'm showing you here has been shared many times on these groups provided by this partner. So we could customize the dashboards based on things like this too. Thanks a lot.